This is the Brewtubers Online Brewers Club 2022 Hops Experiment, Hoppy Blonde Ale. Thanks to our sponsors: Imperial Yeast, Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Supply Store, Brewers Hardware, 5 Star Chemicals, and Yakima Valley Hops. Get brewing.
What's up, guys? Chris back from Burgles Brewing, and we have the 6th and final installment of the reviews for the Brewtubers 2022 Hop Experiment Hoppy Blonde Ale. All right, so for those who don't know, and for those who already know, anyway, I'm going to give a quick little recap. We did a little experiment over at Brewtubers. Check us out at brewtubers.com. 6 participants. We had 3 different hop products, 2 different hop varieties, Citra and Mosaic. We had T90, Lupomax, and Incognito, all graciously provided by our wonderful sponsor, Yakima Valley Hops. They also provided the small bittering charge of Centennial for all the participants, which was really, really cool. Imperial Yeast, another one of our awesome sponsors, provided AO1 House for all the participants to brew this with. All right, so you got the hops and grain out of the way. The only difference with the hopping was, like I said, everybody did a little bit of like a 10 IBU, I think, dose of Centennial at the beginning, and the only difference was in the whirlpool, whether you used T90, Incognito, or Lupomax, and they used the amount they needed to in their system for their size batch of beer to get to the same IBU level. So that was the variable. Same grain bill, some 2-row, a little bit of honey malt, a little bit of wheat malt, something really nice and simple. Thank you, Nick from Exit 12, for giving us that recipe. So that was really it. Not really, that was just it. Again, the last beer here, we got the Mosaic Lupomax. This is from Dave over at Big Dawg Brewing. Dave is another canner. Appreciate these 12-ounce cans for the the tasting experiment. So nice firm can, holding up really well. All right, so this one is 4.6%, so right on line with, so I think Jerry, Sean, Dave, and Dan have all hit right that 4.6, 4.7%. I think Mike and Eric were a little over that with like 5.3 and 5.6. Well, we'll get into this here. This one's about Dave's beer, so let's get into that. Ooh, good hiss, good pop out of that can. Get in here, get a nice pour here. Try to keep some of the kids out of the pool, like I haven't in the last ones. Sorry, everybody else. Looks like Dave got the benefit of me finally, after 6 of these, finally getting the pour down. Yeah, nothing from the bottom of the can here. This is super clear. I can see myself and the camera through that, so I think you guys can see me. This is more of a deep gold than some of the other ones. Not quite as light. I don't think it's that much darker than some of the other ones, and it's not too dark for, I don't think, a blonde, but it's definitely more on that gold. That gold style. Nice, good, fluffy white head there, hanging around. Ooh. I will say, as far as aroma goes, this is the most pungent so far. This hit me with that Mosaic mango, overripe mango, straight off the bat. I could smell it from about here to the glass. Probably a good 6 inches from the glass. The other ones I really had to get my nose in there to get anything out of. So Dave he canned this in October. So that could be it. I don't know. The brewing range, the shipping range, now the review range have been, maybe for a hobby beer, not ideal for review, but it looks like Dave might have been on the later side of our windows. So maybe he's getting the benefit of the doubt to have maybe a little bit of a fresher can, or maybe it's the Incognito. Who knows? But yeah, this is very, very aromatic, hitting me. And again, I'm pulling the danky dank Mosaic that I love out of here. So I'm excited for this, if you couldn't tell. Dave, you got a winner. Oh, that's nice. That is... Whew. All right, so... Again, sweetness of the honey malt's coming through a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Not really getting any of the churro on the aroma or the flavor. Honey malt just there, just giving a little kick. But I'm really, after now having this one and having Jerry's, who had the Citra, it's not T90, the Citra Incognito, I'm definitely picking up a little bit of the oil. How that's like kind of like, I don't know if they distill it or what they do to reduce it into oil. I can pick that up. I can definitely pick that up. Not that it's a hash oil thing, but if you've been a vapor or anything like that, you just, you know, you work with, you can kind of, you get that sense of when vapor, when it first came out, a lot of those things, people started making their own, and you kind of get that oily sense, and I can kind of pick that character up a little bit in here. And I picked up the same thing in Jerry's, and I go on a whole rant about it. Sorry, Jerry, but I did. It's not off-putting, but you can just kind of tell, especially here where your only addition, especially in that whirlpool, is the hop oil. I don't know if pro breweries or like Yakima Valley, when they're testing this, go sole incognito, but I think I can definitely pick up the oil character of it. Which, in the flavor, isn't necessarily a bad thing, because the aroma I got, the danky dank, as I call it, from Mosaic that I got in the aroma, is not coming through in the flavor. It's all that sweet fruit mango in the flavor. So the little bit of that I can pick up of the oil character that I'm describing kind of gives it a little extra complexity, where, you know, I think if it wasn't there, it'd be too one note, kind of like I experienced in Mike's Citra Lupo Max, where it was just kind of sweet, just the fruity end of Citra. I didn't get a whole lot of anything else. But as far as this goes, let's get back to Dave's beer. This is fantastic. Again, this is the first beer I've had from Dave. Yeah, it's really... Yeah, sweetness of the honey malt with just the nice sweet fruit character and the lupulin character of the incognito, just coming straight with that oil and getting all the good stuff out of it without having any of the vegetal character, kind of really lifting each other up. You get, it's like kind of sweet, 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 and it's kind of bringing it right up to the forefront. Yeah, really showcasing, I think, what Incognito could do for you. Really pushing the sweetness and the fruit. I almost want to say it's like a... You have like a sweet tart character, like a spree or something like that, like a chewable fruit candy kind of thing. Not in a bad way, not off-putting. That's kind of what it is. It's just very, it's kind of sweet and, yeah, just sweet and fruity. Again, not overly fruity. And maybe picking up a whisper of a berry, some kind of, you know, sweet, like a berry currant type flavor that you see on one of those hop charts. Yeah, maybe that's me reaching for something else, trying to figure out what that extra sweetness is that's pushing me into like sweet tart spree character, you know, the category. Yeah, that's really, Yeah, it's really good. It's a lot more complex than I was expecting. You know, and maybe that's going off of, that could be my own personal bias. Like I said, I love Mosaic. Not a huge fan of Citra for my palate. I probably should have came clean with that in the first couple of videos. I like it when it's used in conjunction with beers, but from what I've experienced with it, using it solely, it's kind of one note and kind of lacks some of the complexity. Mosaic, I think, is complex enough to use it as a single hop and get enough hop character out of it where it can carry a beer. Again, just my personal preference and experience. It's kind of weird how palates are different. In that way, I know we've got a couple guys in the club that love Citra, push it in some of their main beers, and I don't see it. I've used it in a couple of my beers, and it's fine, and there's a character in that where I pick out on my palate that I don't particularly enjoy, where I think the danky dank, as I call it in Mosaic, turns people off. And I've heard a lot of people describe it as like diesel, something like that, but I like it. It gives it a little complexity, a little edge to it. Again, I'm picking up a little bit of that here in the aroma, but not in the flavor. The flavor is just straight sweet fruit, like I said, mango, a little bit of berry, and you get that honey malt to back it all up, and they kind of marry together in this nice, just wonderful bouquet of flavors. So yeah, Dave, awesome beer. The first one I've had from you, really good. I think now, if you had to rank now, I think this probably has to be number one. Again, followed closely by Eric's and Sean's. And then we got Mike, Dan, and Jerry kind of rounding out the bottom three there. And it's a toss-up. It's kind of, like I said, it depends on I guess with all of these too, it depends kind of on if we're going to rank as a hoppy blonde, if we're ranking as preference, we're ranking as how we're pushing the hop product, and kind of what push the hop product and display those characters the best. But I think if you've watched all 6 of these, I think you could probably tell by the way I've described this and drank it and gone through it, this has got to be my number one. So yeah, great beer. I'm going to finish it off. I had, this is awesome getting to review these 6 beers. A lot of these guys, like I said, I think 5 out of the 6 is the first time I've had any of their beers before, so can't wait to try more in the future. Like I said, I might do a wrap-up video to all these and just kind of round it all out at some point. Maybe not right after this, but give me like 24, 48 hours, wrap my brain around all of it, put it all together, really see where we're at so we can get a nice compact list and kind of review the beers. But Dave, this is awesome. Can't wait to finish the rest of this. And it's been fun, guys. Until next time, cheers.